Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Feel It to Heal It podcast. I'm wearing my new Made the Label Healing Era sweatshirt, so we are on brand for the healing and the feeling and the expanding and all the things that we do together on this podcast, on this Morning Tea Live, on this YouTube channel, wherever you're listening. So, today we're going to be talking about the difference between dating with your ego versus dating with your heart. So, for those that may not know, I'm in the middle of launching my Powerfully Single live program. It's the first time I'm ever running this program live. It's a 6-week live program, weekly calls, in between Telegram broadcast riffs, all around self-love, around how to navigate the wild, wild west of the dating world, and how to rewrite your story of the type of partners in your love life that you attract. We literally do not understand how powerful we are. We don't understand that when we are attracting people, we are attracting them based on our energetic vibration of our childhood wounding, not the energetic vibration of our authenticity. I'm going to say that again. When we are in the dating world, we are attracting partners based on the energetic vibration of our childhood trauma and wounding rather than the energetic vibration of our authenticity and our alignment. So, how do we shift this? We have to uncover the energetic vibration of our attachment wounding, which is coming from the younger part of us, our inner child, and rewiring into feeling safe to attract what we want to attract. Now, the universe will always give us what we need to get to what we want. So, if you're attracting unavailable partners, there's something within you that's unavailable to receive someone available. Everything is a mirror, everything is energy, everything is giving us information. So, you guys know that I have been single for ever since starting this healing work. 2021, 2, 3. Yeah, like over 3 years now. And within those 3 years, I've taken intentional time off of dating to just focus on building the relationship within myself, becoming my own anchor of safety, building secure attachment. And then throughout those 3 years, I've had about 3 different connections come in. So times where I was intentionally going back into the dating world, I would go back on the apps, I would go back out into the world and meet people. And other times where I wasn't trying to meet anyone at all, and I just happened to move next door to them, or I happened to um, just meet them out and about. And so actually, 2 of the connections that I had during those 3 years being single were from dating apps, and one was my neighbor who you guys know or know of from my story. So, when we talk about dating from our ego, it's all of this conditioning and this trauma from society that's like, you need to be with someone who has XYZ qualities. And so what happens is we go out into the dating world with these expectations of this person needs to, let's just use an example. Oh, my parents taught me that this person has to make good money. They have to put a roof over my head. They basically have to translate into the role of parent. That's how I hear it, which is so unattractive to me. I'm like, you are a grown ass adult. Why are you looking for mommy and daddy? Well, that is your inner child. So we have to be so loving to that part. And I know how I just said it might not seem very loving, but that's because I've gotten to a point where when I can look back at connections or people that are choosing partners based on who is going to mimic their parent, you can really start to witness how that is your inner child taking over. And that's not sexy. That's not exciting. That's a younger part of you not feeling safe to be parented by yourself and who's looking to lock down a husband or a wife or a spouse based on needing a parent rather than wanting a connected union of partnership, of love, of true connection. And so what happens is we go from childhood where we have our parents, and then let's say we leave the home at around age 18, 19, 20, however old you were, and then we start trying to find a husband or a wife or a spouse, and we're like, okay, this person's going to, you know, basically take over the role of parent, and then you guys are expecting to parent each other, like, oh, you're my mom and you're my dad, and it's just this very childlike energy. And we don't ever get initiated into becoming our own parent. No one teaches us that. And I had been in therapy since the age of 4. No one taught me how to be my own parent. And all I had 10 different therapists. None of them taught me how to be my own parent. I didn't learn how to teach my clients how to do that when I was in grad school. So there's a lot missing in our education, as we know. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. I'm sure you can think of many things in your education that you're like, oh shit, I should have learned this in school. Balancing my hormones, managing my finances, emotional intelligence, and emotional regulation skills. Like the list goes on and on. So we have to seek this education out somewhere. So I seeked it in my mentor, who I currently have now for 3 years, and my clients seek it within me. So when we have this mentorship, we are able to have a reparenting experience. And the point is then not to transfer that over to the mentor. The point is for you to then have that come out. Your attachment style is inevitably going to come out in any close relationship, in that mentorship relationship where you can then rewire it and heal it and shift it. So that's what I help my clients do. I reparent them, and as I'm doing that, I'm teaching them, like a parent would with a child. I'm teaching them how to reparent themselves. So then they take over that role. So our dynamic switches from me being the parent figure to me connecting with you as another adult to adult. Now, of course, I'm always going to have that mama bear, mama goose energy because that's in my nature, but that's very different when you are actually doing the reparenting yourself, which means you're saying no to yourself when it's, 11 o'clock, you got to put the baby to bed, the baby within you who's trying to stay up late and scroll on social media. And you say, nope, putting the baby to bed. No, I'm not going to have that fifth cookie and make myself sick. No, I'm not going to date that ex that I know is not going to lead me to where I want to be. So part of this reparenting work is understanding where you are relating to your dating life from this place of inner child. So in these 3 connections, as I was single and I attracted these people, I really had to wrangle with my ego because my ego really didn't like some of these traits that these people had. And yet, on a spiritual journey, you really begin to understand and embody this inner knowing of everyone we attract is for our learning. Everyone attract is for our growth. Now, it's all dependent on what we do with that information. How do we relate to it? It doesn't mean that we agree to date this person that's treating us badly. Oh, because they're for my growth, so I have to treat them, or I have to go out with this person who treats me like shit. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you have a connection with someone, it doesn't fucking matter what your ego says about it. I had a connection with someone where my ego hated the fact that I had feelings for this person. My ego thought that I was better than them. My ego thought that, why would I date someone who's so emotionally immature? Why would I date someone who has such active addiction issues? My ego hated it. My ego was simply just trying to protect me from being hurt and from not feeling good enough. Because if I'm dating someone who I view as less than me, then I'm essentially saying I'm less than what I perceive myself to be. So my ego is trying to protect me from not feeling good enough or from feeling less than. But the thing is when we date with our ego or we make choices around connections based on ego rather than connection, like, do I feel a connection with this person regardless of what my ego says? If you don't listen to that, you're just going to have to learn the same lesson at another point in time, and you're going to attract another person that your ego doesn't like. And then you're either going to choose to listen to the calling of your soul, which is to explore this connection. Now, again, I have not had a boyfriend, a full partner in 3 years. That does not mean I haven't had connection. So that was me choosing to relate to those connections from a place of exploring the connection, allowing myself to feel the connection without actually committing to them as a partner because they weren't in alignment as a partner. So our brains love to do the all or nothing thinking where we're like, oh, well, if I have feelings for this person, I must be with them. And sometimes it really does feel like this person that I had this connection with that my ego really didn't like, that I had feelings for them. And it took me a lot of time and sessions with my mentor for me to feel safe to even admit that I had feelings for them because I was scared of being judged. I was actually being judged by some friends who are no longer friends. They were hardcore judging me for being intimate with this person, for entertaining the idea of this person, and really even using some God shaming around me, like God would not want this person inside of you. Like, oh my God, just you wouldn't believe the comments I received. And it was such a projection of their own shit. Now, why I say that is because when you are truly connected to someone, it doesn't fucking matter how they present to the world. Like my friends thought this person was an idiot. They thought he was so emotionally immature, and he was emotionally immature. Was he an idiot? No, he was actually really smart and he was immature. Now, does that mean that we can control who we have a connection to? No, it means we get to decide how we want to relate to that connection. So, how I related to it was I surrendered to my feelings. I allowed myself to have feelings for this person that everyone else was judging me for. And that connection, spending time with this person, not spending time with this person, even when I wanted to, the feelings that I felt for this person, those feelings catalyzed a deep, deep layer of healing within me. So much so to the point where when I accepted the fact that just because I had feelings for this person, it didn't mean that I was going to be with them in a relationship, which took a lot of wrangling with my ego around that because, or with my heart around it, because I was like, I have feelings for this person. How could I not want to be with them? But my head and my heart and my gut knew they were all on the same page of like, okay, you have feelings for this person. It doesn't mean that this isn't an aligned partnership. And so when I surrendered to the fact that I cannot be with this person that I have deep feelings for, which was really painful, I used those feelings to create. And I birthed an entire program out of it for helping women heal their anxious attachment. And those moments where I said no to hanging out with this person, to stay home and create my life, despite having these feelings for this person, that catalyzed my next level of secure attachment, of sovereignty, of becoming my own anchor. And it was really fucking powerful. Now, the other connection was very brief and it was kind of a love bombing situation, but it was an invitation for me to look at where I was still relating from anxious attachment. All of these connections guided me further and further in healing my anxious attachment to the point I'm at now, where the last connection I had, which was about a year ago, this February, it will be a year. It was the first time my anxious attachment did not feel activated. Despite him still being very avoidant, despite him not being emotionally available, I decided to stay connected to myself. And that changed everything because it was saying, okay, this person's avoidant attachment doesn't have to affect how I'm feeling. It doesn't have to affect my relationship with myself. I don't need to abandon myself because this person is not available. I can say, okay, I have feelings for this person and I enjoy the time I spend with them, but they're not available. And so I'm just going to keep focusing on me and using those feelings to create. This is one of the most valuable things that I learned from my relationship with my mentor is like we can have feelings in romantic relationships and use those for us, use those to create. So I would pour it into birthing out programs. I would pour it into creating content. I would pour it into teaching you guys about this stuff. Like we don't have to waste those feelings. And sometimes when we don't have a channel for those feelings, we're like, oh my God, we just need to be with the person to express these feelings. Sometimes yes, and sometimes the relationship is not actually in alignment. So again, dating with your ego is not denying your feelings. Dating with your heart is understanding that sometimes you're going to have feelings for people that you're not able to be with. Other times you're going to have feelings for people that you are going to be with. And you don't know how long you're going to be with them for. Other times you meet the person that might be your actual person that you spend forever with or, a lifetime with. And your ego thinks, damn, what are other people going to think about this person? This is nothing like I thought I would have in a partnership. Maybe this person looks completely different. Like for me, I've really had to surrender to this image because I always have this ideal physical type. I really have always had this ideal physical type of I like really, really, really tall Black men. And I've also dated Hispanic men. I'm just never been attracted to white men. That's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing. But I've had to really look at where am I attaching on to this person needs to be this height and this race and this religion and this blah, 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 this career. and just focus on what truly matters, which is connection and love and growth. If you're not with someone that's helping you grow into a better you, the relationship might as well have died. Relationships are meant to help us grow. So really looking at where are you relating to dating from this place of, well, he should be this, or I'm not going to date him because of this, or I'm only with him because of financial security. God, it breaks my heart seeing so many women and men, but like at least the clients that I have currently, it's like these women that are just with men for financial security. And it's like, become your own anchor, give yourself freedom, make your own money, like have choices, give yourself choices. You should never be with someone just because of dependency, because that's perpetuating childhood when we were actually dependent on our parents. We are adults, so we are missing the entire point of adulthood, the freedom that comes with adulthood when we are making decisions based on our inner child trying to feel safe and not recognizing, wait, we're adults. We don't have to stay dependent anymore. We get to literally create that freedom for ourselves. Does that mean we're never going to need support? Of course not. Of course we need support. It means that have the anchor or the North Star be freedom in all areas of your life. And sometimes it takes time to build. Maybe as you're building financial freedom, you need support from other people, and that's okay. But have the vision be that I'm going to be my own anchor so that I don't need to stay with someone just because of safety, that I get to choose to be with someone based on what lights me up, based on what I want to do, not based on the opinions of others. I see time and time again, so many people choose partners based on, well, my parents think he would be good for me, or my parents want me to marry this person, or, this person seems really healthy for me. It's like, stop outsourcing your power and your safety to other people and other people's perceptions and judgments and opinions, because that's all a projection of what they believe or what they think is safe or what they want for you in terms of safety. And you get to make your own decisions because that's the freedom of being an adult. So we have to date with our hearts. Now that, and I see so many relationship coaches that are like, here's how to date with your head instead of your heart. And it drives me fucking crazy because you don't want to date just with your head being like, oh, you should date this person because they seem nice. We have an expression in my old mastermind group of, do you want to fuck them? Am I allowed to say fuck on a podcast? I think that's okay. I think I curse all the time. Yeah, it should be fine. Um, and that's with anything in life, like that job. Like, do you feel turned on by it? That person that you're dating, do you feel turned on? Like, do you want to spend time with them? I was working on this with a client where she is in love with this person, but her fear was that, there were these imperfections about him. And, there was fear around, oh, what are my friends going to think because he does, smokes weed or he has this type of job. And it's like, none of that matters. How do you feel when you're around this person? And she lit up and she was like, I love him. I was like, that's all that matters. That's all that matters because you get to be your own anchor of safety. You don't need him to have a certain type of job. You need a partner that's going to make you feel like an expanded, more youiest you version of yourself. That's all that matters. So if you are stuck attracting the same person, you have to look at where are you leading your dating life from a place of ego, from a place of your ego trying to protect you against the judgment of others. Fuck the judgment of others. That's their own shit. Why are you taking that on? Why are you internalizing it? Who cares what your friends think about that guy you're seeing? Now, listen, there's a difference between someone very lovingly saying, hey, I'm worried about you because you're with this person who's not treating you well. That's very different than you being so deeply connected to someone and someone being like, they're not good enough for you and projecting their own shit onto you. That you have to say, fuck off. I'm following my heart and this feels right for me. It's never going to look how we think it quote unquote should. That's the whole point of beyond your wildest dreams. The universe gives us something beyond what we thought we could have. So every time I meet someone and I fall in love or I have a connection, I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I'll ever feel this way about anyone again. And then someone else comes along and I have an even deeper connection or even more aligned connection. You just keep getting warmer and warmer and warmer as you are on your spiritual path. And then eventually just like with business, right? I had to hop around a lot to land where I meant to land and grow and build in my business. Same thing for partners. I had to hop around, boop, 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 getting warmer, warmer, warmer until, and I have a feeling it's going to be this year. I just feel it, 33. I feel like my partner's coming. There's going to be someone that you can land with and build and grow. That's what I believe, and that's what I've experienced. And I think it's such a shame when we settle for someone based on fear of not finding someone else or fear of, like just fear. Like love should be a bonus. It should be an extension of the love that you have for yourself and wanting the best for yourself, not the best based on what your ego says is the best, but based on what your heart truly feels. Like your heart gets to feel so deeply nourished and cared for and loved and lit up and excited and pure. And it doesn't fucking matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter if this person is emotionally mature. It doesn't matter. Like that's where the growth is. If they looked exactly how you thought they should look, where would the growth be? And you have to look at, where are you so focused on finding this enlightened person? My dad always says that to me. He's like, "You're just waiting for an enlightened man." I'm like, "Yeah, kind of, because I'm becoming enlightened. So I'm hoping someone will also join me in that." And he's like, "I think you're too picky." I'm like, I'm not settling, Dad. I'm waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm building my life, and I'm naturally going to attract someone out of thin air. Just watch. I will. So it doesn't matter where, this person's like, "Oh, they don't have this money," or blah. Like, who gives a fuck? Make your own money, so you don't need to worry about what money they're making. Focus on, how does your heart feel around them? How does your body feel around them? How does your soul feel around them? Do you feel lit up around them? Do you feel loving, clean energy around them? Like, and if not, then look at, what is the energy between you and what are you meant to learn from that? What is the attachment around it? What is it bringing up from your childhood? And use it for your healing, use it for your growth, use it for your learning. Just because I had connections with these three men during these 3 years of being single does not mean I was meant to be with any of them. It means I was meant to learn and use those feelings to help me grow so that I can actually attract someone who is in alignment. That's the whole point. First, you build the secure attachment for yourself. Next, you build it for everything else that you want in your life. And that extends to who you want to call in. So, if you are ready to uncover your dating patterns and look at why you keep attracting the same type of partner who is avoidant or too anxious or not available or whatever the thing is, Powerfully Single Live is open for enrollment until February 2nd, when we begin our 6-week journey together. Short and sweet journey. So much can happen in 6 weeks. I've had people manifest their dream partners from this program. I've had people manifest jobs, new homes, just feeling more in love with themselves, dating themselves, staying connected to themselves, and comes with in-between support, the 5 course modules, the 5 module course all around dating yourself, around becoming your own anchor, around looking at your single habits, how you're relating to yourself, how you're disconnected from yourself and the people you date, and how to alchemize these connections into your next level of growth. So if you're in my membership, you get the discounted price of $555 for the 6-week program. If you're not in the membership, then it is currently on sale for $888, and I would absolutely love, love, love to have you. This program is so near and dear to my heart, and it has literally changed everything in my relationship with myself, in my connections, in my love life, in my romantic life, and just literally every area of my life. So, oh, and Luna is now climbing the ring light. So on that note, we're going to head off. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. And this is not just for people who are single and dating themselves. It's also for people who are single and dating others, because again, we're using what's happening in your dating life to alchemize your growth and to build that deep, secure attachment and connection with yourself. All right. Love you guys so much. And I will see you on the next episode.